All right. Omar's back. Your knife for the party guy. I am back with the final section of my discontinued knife collection. Again, I believe this to be the largest Kershaw Discontinued collection out there you will ever see on the internet in one place. And I'm the proud owner of this collection. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on. This is the creme de la creme collection section of my Kershaw Discontinued collection. So let's start with this little guy. This is the Kershaw Mini Mojito knife. Again, it has the stud lock that I talked about earlier with the ball and the spring. One that caused like blade play later on. What's interesting about this knife is that the spring on this knife here, the spring assist actually broke on this knife originally. And I contacted Kershaw, sent it in, and they fixed it and gave it right back to me, which I thought was really awesome. Really glad that they did that. So I'm kind of happy they did that. I didn't expect that to happen, but they did. Kershaw Mini Mojito knife. The steel on this one is 14C28N, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe it's 14C28N. I apologize if I got that wrong. Mini Mojito knife. The scales on this one are G10. Just the scale, the one scale, G10. Moving on, we have the Kershaw MultiColored Boa. This is another rare one to find. I call this like my Joker knife. Looks like a knife the Joker would carry. This is called the Kershaw MultiColored Boa knife in 440V steel. Again, old school steel. It is a spring-assisted knife. And this guy is hair-popping, razor sharp. Really nice knife. I'm glad to have this one. It's very difficult to find. We've got a lock on the knife. Again, it's an earlier version of the spring assist where they actually had locks on the knife, so now I can't open it. Now I can open it once I disengage that lock that you see right there on the back of the knife. Moving on, I call this knife in my collection a real disappointment. This is the Kershaw Spiker. This is a collaboration knife between two companies, okay? Spyderco and Kershaw. When I saw this knife, I was really disappointed. You got G10 scales with silver twill on it. Big deal, right? You figured that two big companies could come together and really make something super special. This knife looks more like a political move. Between two companies. It looks like they made this knife because they actually hated each other. At least that's the impression I get. This is a manual knife. The knife came in a Spyderco pouch. Sort of like a plastic leather looking Spyderco pouch. The steel on it is S30V steel. We've got a recurved blade. I mean, it's not that impressive of a knife. I think the only thing I like about it is the fact that the knife is very, very light and the action is good. That's about it. But two companies should have gotten together and made something better than this. That's what I'm saying. Kershaw Spiker, very, very rare knife to find. Definitely one of my least favorites in my collection, but I'm glad to have it. Moving on, the Kershaw blue titanium bump this time. If you guys remember, in the third video, I showed you a green version of this. This is the blue version. The green version is much more rarer than the blue, but I do love the blue version more because blue is my favorite color. Again, this was probably one of the first CNC machines making knives, custom, I'm going to say, because it is really, you could mistake this for a custom knife, even though it's a production knife. So I'm going to say this was a CNC machined production, custom-looking knife, because it is very impossible. It's pretty hard to get these ridges in that knife there to look like that. It's absolutely fantastic. The Kershaw blue titanium bump. Here we have a very popular custom, not very popular, very popular Kershaw sought-after knife. This is the Kershaw Tirade in all of its blue chocolate icing coloredness. We have on the top of the blade, we've got 154 cm steel, and on the bottom it is CPM D2 steel. I probably would have had it separate, opposite. I would have loved to have the bottom part be 152 steel, and then the top part be D2, but, you know, whatever. It's a composite blade, as you can see. The pattern on it is kind of wacky, but it looks awesome. It mimics the handle with the chocolate dripping icing on it. The knife is aluminum. The scale here inlay is carbon fiber. It's just a big brown chocolate knife. Very sought after. This is the first version of the Tirade that they came out with. They also did it in black G10 and in white G10. Also in orange G10, and I'm after that one if I ever get a hold of it, should I decide to continue to collect these knives. The next one, moving on, again, this is the gray Lee Williams design groove. Much more rare than the black one you saw earlier. Again, with the grooves. Just really cool. Cool piece. Really happy to have this one. Again, designed by, been going on, R.J. Martin design. Again, also the R.J. Martin design Zing in orange. Another rare one. Really very nice. The scales on this, again, they're not G10, they're Zytel, which is sort of like a cheap material. Still, though, it's nice. It's nice. Moving on, we have the, I can't remember the name of this one all of a sudden. Oh, my God. Offset. The Kershaw Offset. There you go. With a stud lock on it. Really very nice. It's got really hard spring action on it, and the reason it has really hard spring action on it is because it has two torsion bars, one on this side and one on the other rather than just one. So when this spring assisted blade opens, it pops open with a hell of a kick. Super, super fast. Same thing with the Kershaw Tirade. This has two torsion bars in it instead of just one. As you can see how quick that pops open. Again, one torsion bar on this side, another one on that side. With the Kershaw Offset, it's got a beautiful paint splattered knife on the G10 scales on the pattern on the G10 scales on this one. Also, it's textured. It's really nice. They also released this knife in gray and black, I believe, also. This is a very, very interesting knife as far as the blade is concerned. It was made using what's called mite technology. As you can see right there, it says mite. And what mite technology is basically they take the metal, which is in a liquid form, and they pour it into a mold. And the steel on this one is 440V steel. And if you look at the knife, it's warped. Let me show you. See how it's off-centered on there? It's off-centered because the knife was poured into a mold. So the blade is not really super straight, you know, when they made it. But I can guarantee you this knife is really super razor hair-popping sharp. Yeah. Now, this is number 121 of 1,000 on this one. This one came out December of 2005. Again, yeah, the steel is 440C steel. You can see yeah, it says right there is number 121 of 1,000. I don't know if they really only made 1,000 because this is actually the second version of the knife that I got. The first one didn't have any number on it at all. So I don't know if that was an overrun of the knives, or maybe they just forgot to stamp that one with the number on it. But I got rid of that one, and I got this one instead. So I'm not sure. Moving on, we have the Kershaw Bump in, G10 scales, G10 textured. G10, the first with a starburst pattern, as you can see. G10 textured, G10 with a starburst pattern, a very rare knife. Overall, spring-assisted blade, recurve blade, S30V steel, an in-house design with the stud lock again. Spring, knife. So this knife actually has a little up and down blade play. So, whatever. It's a safe clean. I don't really use it. I may contact Kershaw and have them repair it. I don't know, the vertical blade play, because it's not something I want on my knife. But for now, it's okay. I'm lucky to have this one. Kershaw Bump with the starburst pattern on it. Moving on, this is the only knife in this discontinued collection that's actually not discontinued, because you can go down to Walmart right now and buy this one. This is the Kershaw Bolt. But it came in a silver box, so I bought it anyway. This knife's like $30. It's no big deal, but it kind of fits the theme, and I'll explain why in a second when I do the last 4 creme de la creme pieces in this collection. So this is the Kershaw Volt 2. Kershaw Volt 2. Spring-assisted blade in Zytel, textured Zytel with this diamond pattern on it. It's kind of nice. But yeah, you can get this knife anywhere. Anywhere. So the Kershaw Bolt 2. Now, the last 4 knives in this collection are super rare. The last 4 knives in this collection are in the hundreds, cost hundreds of dollars. I'm going to start with my favorite one in the entire collection, which is the Kershaw Volt. This is a really sought-after knife. People have been begging to buy this one off of me, and I keep telling them no. What we have here is a R.J. Martin design knife called the Kershaw Volt. This is titanium and G10 together in this really cool pattern. You can see how the pattern runs over from this end all the way down to the handle. I love that. That looks really awesome. We've got G10 surrounded by titanium. And it just looks spectacular. The steel on this is M390. I believe the top part of the blade is 154 CPM steel. Really fantastic. This does not run on ball bearings. Ball bearings have not yet been invented, but this thing is very, very smooth for a washer knife. I'm not going to say they weren't invented yet. They just weren't brought. The idea was not brought here to the States yet. The idea of ceramic ball bearings. So, Kershaw Bolt. This is absolutely a fantastic piece. Everybody's killing me to buy this, to have me sell them this knife, and I keep telling them no. The second knife that I say no to is the Kershaw Speedform. This is another one. This could be considered more like another twin knife to the Kershaw Volt. We've got the pattern over here running over into the handle, which is not textured. The entire handle is made of titanium. Again, we've got B2 on top, and on the bottom we've got LMAX. Sorry, 154 CPM steel, and on the bottom we've got LMAX steel composited together in one blade. Just a really, really nice knife. Yeah, just fantastic. Again, only runs on washers, but it is very smooth. Yeah, love that one. A little piece of history in the making on this piece. Here, this is the very first ever KVT ball bearing knife ever made by Kershaw. They made these. They made quite a number of these knives. Each one was numbered. Yeah, the flip of this knife is just spectacular even today. This one I got serial number 179. The steel on this is Vengeance 75, which is a really rare knife. This is a huge sucker. The front of the knife is laminated carbon fiber, and on the back we have titanium. Yeah. And this is a lot of fun to flip. Look how smooth it is. It just drops shut. This, along with the Bolt and the Speed Form, they're both sought-after knives in anybody's knife collection. I'm happy to have this one. This knife you can still buy and find on eBay every once in a while. It's a hell of a lot of money, though, now, as compared to when I first got a hold of it. I think I paid only like $300 for this one at the time. Now they're selling it for like $700. So, yeah. Kershaw Tilt. Composite blade in Vengeance steel. I don't know what the top portion of the blade is. It could be D2. I don't know. I'm not sure. First KVT ball bearing system knife, Kershaw Tilt. And finally, the last knife in the collection. Excuse me. This is an in-house design by Kershaw. And as you can see on the knife, they only made 250 of these. And I got number 12. Really awesome. This is the Kershaw Whisper. And it has what's called, I can't remember, I think it's called like a side lock or something. I forgot the name of the lock on this one. But basically, it's a spring inside. You push in this little bar here, and then you can close the knife. Really very nice. And it also has a lock on it, so you won't be able to open it. Should, you know, by accident, it won't open up in your pocket. At least that was the idea back then. Because the spring-assisted knives are not as good, or not as good back in these days. They weren't as confident, so they had to put locks on the knives, as opposed to these days, spring-assisted blades, where they're much more sturdier, much more better than what they had back in this time. Kershaw Whisper. Now, this knife was, apparently, they considered it to be super special because they only made 250 of these. It came in a nice wooden case with a glass top, and you also got a Kershaw leather pouch with it. And I have all of that. I got the box, I got the wooden stand, I got the case with it. I even got the paperwork with this one, the Kershaw Whisper. I'm really glad to have this. And every knife in this collection is a pride and joy for me. Again, I got boxes, original boxes with all the knives in this collection. It took me roughly about 6 years to collect the entire collection. I have done these 4 sets of videos before when the camera was very, very shaky and sucked, and I do apologize. So, just for that, I decided to do all the Kershaw knives all over again for your viewing pleasure. I really enjoyed doing it again. I don't know what's going to happen with this collection because this is my very first knife collection that I ever had, before I started in on collecting South African knives. There is a good chance that you will see this entire collection back up on the internet. Right now, I have not made up my mind. So I am not sure because I am currently looking to move on past this collection. But then again, if I get rid of all these knives, I won't have any American knives. So something for me to think about and that I'm going to be balancing with as the days go by with my knife collecting. Am I going to get rid of this collection or not at this point in time? I don't know. And if my buddy Tyler Barberi on Instagram is watching, because he's making me sell this collection, so I can make room for more South African pieces. But, you know, right now, I am still not sure. So, In the meantime, I want to do the video for you, get you guys a chance to take a look at these knives once again. You know, and just, you know, kind of take a look at what I used to collect and kind of remember and go over all these knives. Because, you know, I do enjoy having it, even though it's not doing anything much but sitting around. So this is Omar, the Knife of the Party guy. I will see you guys in my next video. My voice is so shot, I don't think I can talk anymore. But I do have a new custom coming from... I've got a new custom coming from Coasty Steam Camp. Hopefully I'll have that within the next 3 weeks. He has contacted me and told me that he's almost done with it, and I'm really kind of excited to get that piece. So this is Omar, the knife of the party guy, saying happy knife collecting to all of you, and may all of you guys be lucky enough to own a collection like this, whatever your collecting pleasure may be. And while I am not a religious person, God bless everybody, and you guys have a fantastic evening.